Welcome back, Renegades and Tokenistas, as of Tokens fans. got a name yet? I'm not aware of Token, but yeah, big fan of Ren and all that he does. It's been ages since I've checked out any Ren, but he's releasing some new stuff soon, right? And somebody commented, was it Maureen, I think, to let me know about this. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. We are the products of what we see. Yeah, I'm fascinated by that idea, is that, we don't see the world as it is, do we? We see it as we are through the realm of our own experience, and everything is coloured by everything we've experienced, isn't it? And it's very difficult to transcend beyond that, I suppose. I do spend a lot of time, I guess, just thinking I don't know, or being aware I can change my mind about stuff. So how I feel or think about something, it might only be temporary, But let's see what the boys have got to say about it.
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
Okay, minimalistic to begin with, that's cool. But man, I kind of want to judge him on his thought process there, but maybe he's going to judge himself, Because the idea, is that it's a trigger. That word's popular these days, isn't it? It's a trigger for me. The idea that, this is just the way I am. And I suppose on some level maybe that's true, isn't it? That we are certain types of people, certain types of personality, have certain personality traits that can only be moved a certain amount. But I guess also maybe I feel that way because I guess I'm the rebel, the born rebel, and I want to rebel, against anything or like. I suppose I was more easily manipulated throughout my 20s and stuff because I would just do the opposite of whatever anybody wanted me to do or said, even if that was perhaps detrimental to myself. It reminds me of that famous line in The Wild One, Marlon Brando. What are you even rebelling against, Johnny? What you got?
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like?
And even, I went 10 seconds in, pausing it again. But yeah, you might be right, It's because it's good to also to have a sense of self, a sense of purpose, right? So I suppose, actually, another person can't change you, can they? Or you can't change them, But we can help each other, to grow and to learn. Yeah.
What does your love look like? 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 As much as I do want to love you, I feel like we're speaking two different languages. Your house had a gate and mine had instigated, so that's the environment we feel safer in. You thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard Dad say I love you with Mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics. So how could you blame me, cause you always choose to. You always choose to. You wanna.
Very cool, man. Yeah. So yeah, he's exploring those territories that I guess I was just sort of talking to or alluding to, yeah. And there's a great John Lennon song, How, how can I give love when I don't know what it is I'm feeling and stuff, How can I give love when love ain't something I've ever had and all that sort of stuff.
It's the environment we feel safer in. You thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard Dad say I love you with Mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics. So how could you blame me, cause you always choose to. You always choose to. You wanna know where I be at all the time, but that's not what I'm used to. Not what I'm used to. You knew where your dad was at work or he's home when he's taking the load off. I didn't know where until 1:24 the day I got that phone call. And I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman. I'm trying to learn, I never.
Very, very interesting, man. Very, meaningful stuff, isn't it? Vulnerable stuff. Because we do... Well, what am I taking from this so far, man? We automatically, I suppose, judge other people by our own standards or our own behaviours, right? Which is some kind of result of our own upbringing and stuff to a certain degree, right? And learning to adapt, I suppose, or compromise in relationships for the best. I think I've certainly felt this in my relationship. Is I had great resistance, you know, having been largely on my own, you know, or single for the majority of my life, you know. Not having any long-term relationships, or even the relationships that I had, you know, that they were kind of long distance, I suppose. So then to be in, I guess, a grown-up relationship, seeing and speaking to someone all the time, there was resistance to that, I suppose. Not even necessarily consciously, I don't think, you know, but there's definitely things to overcome, you know, and to work out what you need to do for each other without sacrificing too much of yourself. But what's self mean? I don't know. But it's well, I said it all in the first line on the screen, didn't
Well,
I?
your dad was at work or he's home when he's taking the load up. I didn't know where until 1:24 the day I got that phone call. And I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman. I'm trying to learn. I never had the chance. I still look to my manager, but he gon' teach me how to be a rapper before a good man. I grew up afraid to find a letter on mama's dresser telling us goodbye. I'm used to it all, so you don't gotta hold back and cry. But I gotta tell you why I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
I'm not right for you, but I won't get up and leave. Cause I hate the pain that has colored my veins, that is present in solitary. What does your love look like? Does it look black and white? Is it your kryptonite? Do all your demons get louder at night and the voices get softened when we're intertwined? I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate the way that I feel when the loving gets real. Cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me, pressure of safety.
Man, that's interesting. Yeah. Is it? I hadn't really thought about it like that. Maybe I felt a bit of that.
At night and the voices get softened when we're intertwined. I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate the way that I feel when the loving gets real. Cause I just wanna run and escape
The way that I feel when the loving gets real, because I just want to run and escape the... Yeah, what is that? Like, escaping yourself, escaping responsibility. I'm fascinated lately, I suppose, by the idea of, like, demons and stuff, you know, and evil spirits and that, and whether they're real or not. And then, what does real mean, you know? Because... like, is God real, you know? Is the devil real? And when we speak about that, you know, you imagine, you know, the guy with the pitchfork down in the fire, right? Or the bloke with the beard up on the clouds, but... But I suppose, you know, there is good in the world, isn't there? And evil in the world, you know, and we allow those, you know, spirits into our lives sometimes. I mean, sometimes perhaps through no fault of our own, you know, they get in, you know, and propagate. Sometimes through faults of your own, right? But yeah, what is real? We don't even know, do we? You know, I mean, there's just so much that we don't understand. And I guess that's all right, you know. I guess I just kind of find it ridiculous that we pretend to understand anything, really.
way that I feel when the loving gets real. Cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me, pressure of safety, pressures of promises that turn to maybes, pressure of bravely moving in the same direction. The pressure been driving me crazy. So my therapist said that these wounds that I kept were created when I was a kid. And just like that, all my thoughts raced back to a Welsh town, 96. My mother was crying, my father was screaming and shouting, denying the sin of deceiving and cheating and lying. The weeds are uprooted, the garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats, every night I try to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete, mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood, a lesson.
Yeah, man, that's like it does. And I track back to that, you know. I've got like very sort of vague memories of being at the top of the stairs, you know, my mum and dad arguing and all that. And then yeah, my mum and dad splitting up, living with my mum for a bit, went to live with my dad. I mean, that's a real, you know, complicated weeds to get into, so I won't get into a lot of that. But it was a lot of things happened that were a big deal to me, you know, up until probably about 15, and then it felt like overnight they stopped being a big deal to me. But looking back now, and only recently, I suppose, I understand that I just buried that stuff, man, like deep, man, like deep. And, you know, got into just drinking regularly. And music, of course, helped a lot. You know, I threw myself into that. But I also threw myself into a lot of the extracurricular activities that went along with that, you know, which, yeah, perhaps was necessary in the moment, you know, with what I had to deal with, or, you know, the lack of guidance or support or whatever that was there or not there. But I don't know what. But yeah, as usual, just a Rentry making me think, you know.
I tried to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete, mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood, a lesson that taught me that love ain't enough and that love can be porcelain when times get tough. Flash forward 5 years later, sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's car with me.
Man, that's like a great line as well, isn't it? Yeah. This is like a therapy session in itself, man. I hadn't really thought about that. I suppose that's, you know, like not having a relationship with my mother for like a decade, I suppose. And of course, like, it's even having a relationship after that, you know, after 10 years or 8 years, I think it was, where we didn't speak. It never recovers, I suppose. But I was aware, I guess, of, you know, mother issues or whatever, you know, or that affecting, I suppose, my inability to have any kind of relationship. But now, you know, I look back and realise, you know, there was failings, just failings on both sides, you know, from both of my parents, from both sides of the family, you know, extended family and everything, you know, in different ways, you know. And I suppose collectively, you know, they failed wholly and altogether. And it's difficult for me to even remember, you know, or analyse a lot of this sort of time, you know.
Garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats, every night I try to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete, mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood, a lesson that taught me that love ain't enough and that love can be porcelain when times get tough. Flash.
Love ain't enough, and love can be porcelain when things get tough. So that's maybe that's what I've felt, I suppose. Not consciously, you know, not until this moment, but it certainly fits, I think, perhaps with my life and my behaviours, you know. I guess that idea that, you know, I can only rely on myself, you know. And I'm quite, what's the word? Indifferent now, in general, I suppose, to people. And I'm not sure, like, how much of that is... Because I used to be quite volatile, I suppose, and get angry about stuff, you know, life stuff, day-to-day stuff, people, you know, doing me wrong or whatever it was. But I don't do that anymore, really, at all, you know. I just kind of let it go. And I think, you know, kind of being zen and peaceful is kind of important, isn't it? You know, because if you can be provoked if you can be provoked, or if you allow your emotions to control you, then you can be controlled, you know, and you can be manipulated and all that sort of stuff. And plus, you know, you don't need the stress, do you? You know, it's not good to have the fight or flight, or those adrenaline constantly burning through your system and all that. Messes with your sleep, messes with your, you know, and that's something I realised, I suppose, is sleep, man. Fixing your sleep. I'd had insomnia for 10 years, probably more, you know. Even drinking heavily, I sometimes could not sleep, you know. But I fixed my sleep now, thankfully, and it just makes a big difference to the way I function in the rest of my life and everything. But anyway, on the indifference thing, I'm not sure. Like, what is indifference? You know, what is just being peaceful and like sort of in control of yourself, you know, in that space. And what is burying things? You know, it is having an emotional reaction to everything, or an opinion, or an emotional opinion on everything that happens outside you or around you. Is that always necessary, I suppose? I don't know.
Forward 5 years later, sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's car with my maker. My dad looked shaken, turned to face him. The words that he spoke cutthroat like razor. He said, "Ren, sometimes love can be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created, and I've made..."
Not sometimes. I think it's always complicated, right?
Like razor. He said, "Ren, sometimes love can be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created, and I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily." And just like that, it's just me, my mum and my sis. The stress left mum disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new Ren. Strong for my sis and my mum at a loose end. Confused but moving through the confusion. When all new love feels fake like what does your love look like? Does it tear your inside? Does it keep you up at night? My brother. Does it make you feel like a fist in your windpipe? Suffocate the feeling of what love's meant to feel like. Navigating you, but I'm still not quite right. One night stand, make the pain stop one night. One more heart to the blade of my cold night. What does your love look like?
You realize how hard that I work, and you told me you feel for me. If I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me? It's easy to love when I'm up, when I'm down and you leaving. You can't even give me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you...
Interesting, man. This is kind of like they're both like childhoods separately, isn't it, man? I'll take this back. I was going to say, well, Ren's still got a lot of sort of anger to assimilate, hasn't he? You know, I'm not sure if I've assimilated mine yet, or you know, just buried it again for a little bit. But the repeating generational things, you know, is.
You realize how hard that I work, and you told me you feel for me. If I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me?
Yeah, if I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me? That's Is that like, is he thinking about his girlfriend? You know, does she love me? You know, for me, for the things I want to do, for the things I'm trying to do, for the hard worker that I am. But then, does she love me just for me? Like, what does that mean? You know, how can you explain or quantify that? Because love and life is so complicated, isn't it? Not only is it complicated, you know, like people are different. It's infinitely complicated, I suppose. I remember one of my first girlfriends. That the reason. I mean, maybe she would tell it different if she could speak about it now. But I remember it seemed to me the reason that she went out with me was because I was in a band, you know, and I love music, and I just wanted to do that all the time. And then the reason she broke up with me was because I was in a band and I love music and I wanted to do it all the time, you know. Yeah.
It's easy to love when I'm up, when I'm down and you leaving.
It's easy to love. I think that's what I found most of my life, is that it was easier not to love, you know. Not to love people anyway, or not to get attached. And I guess I did get attached on Yeah, I did get attached a few times. I don't know why I got attached, to some people and not to other people. It might have just been a cycle of getting burned and then, once bitten, twice shy, and then the memory fades maybe, and then I would get attached. So why would I get attached to some people and not to others? I don't know.
You can't even give me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you need help but I'm too far away, is it over for you? Maybe I'm just not the person for you, even though I still could be the soul for you. Maybe we are meant to be together, but our history got in the way. Your trust issues, my fear issues, too many issues at play.
That's good, yeah, my trust issues, your fear issues. I guess your childhood experiences have got to be... Your childhood traumas, perhaps, have got to be compatible to some degree, right? I think I find that I guess with my girlfriend now, it's similar. Well, very different childhoods actually, but enough similarity perhaps to understand. Similar levels of empathy, perhaps.
Yell fast, I get quiet, you wanna see more passion. I've seen what real yelling can lead to, so no, I don't have it. I grew up afraid to see holes in a wall in a room that was locked from inside. I promise I'm used to it all. You don't gotta ever hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why. I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
I'm not supposed to be here. So that's his record, is it, that's out? Cool. Oh, there's a video for that and stuff, man. It's got a few things up. Cool, man. Well, let me know, like, what token I should check out. And the 17th or something, did somebody say some more Ren stuff's coming out? Remind me, if I'm not reacting to it, but I'm planning to, I'm sure my girlfriend's going to remind me. But yeah, good to be checking out some Ren again, and interested in this token chap. Love to you guys. Look after yourselves. See you next time.